Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. All right, Monday is my usual poetry day, and we can thank Hafiz for this one, the Persian Shakespeare. It's called Begin. This is now. Now is all there is. Don't wait for then. Strike the spark, light the fire. Sit at the beloved's table. Feast with gusto. Drink your fill. Then dance the way branches of jasmine and cypress dance in a spring wind. The green earth is your cloth. Tailor your robe with dignity and grace. Yeah, put yourself out there, free flowing in nature. All right, so today, journaling question that I have for the people who like to do writing, stream of consciousness, or just blurting it out, not even just burnishing the thing. When did you have the most fun this past week? Really important to keep reminding yourself of things you do that bring the up vibe, bring positivity into the world, and then you know where your affinities lie, and you can reinforce them. All right, now my teacher says that the path of yoga has what they call sabija with seed and nirbija without seed. With seed means usually you're planting something for something further, and without seed is like nothing, emptying completely. So you can practice postures, you can read scriptures, you can do devotional service. All those things are seeds, devices, props that you use to develop your awareness. But then there's the emptying, the not clinging, the letting go. You can't get the beatific vision if you're holding on to anything. So that's without seed, like nirvana, the blowing out of the flame of the selfish desire gain. And of course, in yoga, one of the things that we do in terms of with seed is there's sequences. It's like a set list that a band plays. It's like a recipe you put together, and you get a certain result as putting in that effort and using that particular combination. Sometimes it's called vinyasa krama, the sequential movements that lead from one thing to the next. And then, of course, you learn when you're younger, of course, you're doing more practices that are kick-ass, you could say. But for instance, jumping through poses, something dynamic like that, that's not suitable for long. You can hurt yourself when you're older and stiffer. And certainly if a person's coming in with injury or rehabbing from an injury, certain poses are not as appropriate. Because remember, yoga's hunt, right, is for rejuvenation. How to completely regenerate your system and come back feeling fresh and new and ready to have creative responses to what life is bringing you. Now, of course, yoga starts with yama and niyama. There's an ethic connected here. And the same thing as my Buddhist friends would say, out of regard for your own good and for the good of other people, it's proper to strive in this area with a kind of heedfulness, not heedlessness, carefulness, not carelessness, because it's our own negligence, our own petty and unresolved resentments that close our own systems, and then we're hard to penetrate and can't get through. We can't dislodge the stuff. It's difficult to get rid of it. So you have to do your own kind of self-hypnosis, So one of the ideas is, if someone is not suggesting this to you, is think of a past experience that you've had and what did you learn in that experience? Then ask your own subconscious mind in a state of deep relaxation and no resistance to use something new from that learning experience in an appropriate way at some time in the future. Now, in yoga, I always say to people, when you come in, figure out what you came for. What's the outcome that you wanted? Person comes in, they're injured in some way, or they need remedial changes from something that they're not doing well, something they're doing badly, as opposed to healthy students come in and they need generative changes, which is learning how to improve something they already do well. Two very, very different kinds of approaches. So, I always say that we're doing two things. We're developing the positive and challenging the negative in our life. So I always ask, what's the lie you tell yourself that you want others to believe that makes you seem that you're better and further along than you really are? Otherwise, you get people who complain, and instead of getting results, they tell stories about why they can't get what they want. But I've learned that if you take any kind of initiatory experience, it's going to hold you accountable in terms of holding your feet to the fire to get cooked properly. And that's what the elder is supposed to be. If they take you out too soon, you're a preemie, underdone. They keep you in too long, you get burnt, and you're not good for anything either. So, do your own dry sweat lodge if you're not actually sitting in a sweat lodge where the heat would probably pull these things out of you and the darkness and the close optional aspect, but listening to other people talk to spirit in their own way. So you start off with a round of saying, I release, and what do you need to let go? I accept what you are willingly to acknowledge. This is there. What do you forgive? How do you let go of holding other people under your thumb or holding yourself? And of course, bless. How do you extend that spiritual part of you to look with a kindly eye on everyone? And this is a private enterprise, personal growth, right? No one can force you to do it. No one can make you do it. And only you know whether or not, you're really moving ahead in a way that's positive for yourself. So in a certain way, you have to auto-anesthetize yourself, right? You have to be deaf and dumb to the stuff that pulls people off the path and distracts them and doesn't even acknowledge that there is something worthy to do to keep you on the path. And then if you do that, you learn to be a giving person. You learn to give before you ask. So remember that spirit not only transcends the universe, but it's immanent in every part of it. So I hope you learn to open the door where spirit works in harmony and peace in your life. Because every day there's a case to be made, and I intend to make it today and every day. And I hope, my sincere hope, is that this assists the bright twinkle that I know you have.